Hello again, Gills fans. Welcome back to what is a bonus episode this week of Gills in the Blood TV. I did return yesterday after a 6-week hiatus due to COVID issues within the Gills squad and my own household. And obviously, shortly after I published that video, one subject being my wishes for the transfer window, Gills decided to announce a signing. It was a striker, which we clearly needed. And it is Tom Dickson-Peters, who has arrived on loan for the rest of the season from Premier League outfit Norwich City. I was lucky enough to get hold of and speak to @WillGranty. You can find him on Twitter. I will put his handle in the description at the end of this video. And he also runs the @Norwich Youth Instagram page, looking at all the under-23s and all the under-18s, all those that are out on loan from the Canaries. And he's been good enough to send me a 10-minute or so video detailing what Dickson-Peters may have to offer in terms of type of player that he is, attributes, systems that best suit him, partners that best suit him, and a load of other brilliant information. So I'm going to leave you in Will's capable hands. And like I say, bonus video, and the biggest bonus, you don't have to listen to me for the next 10 minutes.
Hello, I am Will and I'm from Norwich Youth, and you can find me on Instagram, and I cover all the academy players from under 18s, under 23s, and even our loan players. So now I will obviously be including Tom Dickson-Peters on loan to Gillingham, and I hope he is everything which you Gillingham fans want. I've also got a huge connection with Dan Ted. I think he's brilliant, and I hope he has a good finish to his season. So yeah, I'm obviously here on this channel, which I'm honoured by, of course, to talk about Tom Dickson-Peters and what you can all expect from him. So I'll start off with the background, so to kind of give like a general idea, and then I'll move to kind of like what kind of player he actually is, and I hope you find this all useful. So Tom, he was actually on the periphery of the first team last season due to the fact that Norwich has quite a lot of injury issues during December last year, so last Christmas in fact, so not this one but the one that's just been, obviously. And yeah, he was one of the many players who from our academy was on the first team bench, and maybe you could say he was unlucky to start, but a Norwich striker from the academy who kind of was above him in the peck order was Trace Omatoy, and he's now played in his trade at Leyton Orient. But let's not talk about that. So this season, I think you'd love to know that he's played 17 games, he's got 17 goals, 7 assists, which kind of equates to about 1.2 goal contribution to the game. If you did that at Gillingham, then I think Norwich have got some player. But obviously, you can kind of tell that Gillingham is a step up to under 23s at Norwich. And yeah, he's also played 1,504 minutes this season as well. So I would kind of say Tom's practically played every minute of every game this season. I think only the centre halves have probably played a bit more than him. Yeah, he was always valued under Farker, and as you can tell, I've already said that Tom was involved with Norwich City's championship campaign last year, being on the bench on some occasions, not a lot, but he was on the bench and he was in and around the set when Norwich had an injury crisis. So what I want to address as well is, as I do a page on Instagram, a lot of people ask me, Will, who do you think would be like the next player to kind of make it through to Norwich, as we've had such a successful time in kind of bringing players up from the academy? Obviously, you would know we've had the likes of Max Aarons, Jamal Lewis, Ben Godfrey, and many more, and they've raised quite a lot of good funds to the club. Obviously, Max Aarons is still at Norwich, which is brilliant. He's close to making 150 appearances. He's just 2 off at the moment. So that kind of shows the kind of the calibre of academy which you'll get at Norwich. And I hope Dan and Tom continue to show that on loan at Gillingham. So yeah, go back to the point that I said, I will probably say Tom was in my top 5 to kind of make it into the first team this season. I don't mean kind of like playing every game in the first team, but I definitely think he would have been involved, maybe in some cup games. But obviously, I think the best move for Tom would be a loan move at Gillingham, because he gets continuous minutes and it's not little things off the bench. And yeah, I think this is a really good move for him. I also want to stress that he has played in stadiums this season, so he's not completely alien to that, which is really good to see. So diving a bit deeper now, I'm zooming in a bit more now. this season in the Premier League Div 2 and all our under-23 games, Norwich City have applied a diamond formation, so it never wears a 4-1-2-1-2, and he has had a strike partner alongside him, which has been completely different to him. So I think our two strikers for the under-23s have had completely different kind of ways of playing. So an example of that was John Rowe, his other strike partner. He was kind of like your striker who's very pacey, direct. He wants to get at people be one-on-one. But the thing with Tom is he's completely opposite to that. He isn't like your traditional target man, if that's what you were hoping. He's kind of like a player who's got a great football IQ, and he's very clever in the way he kind of positions himself for good goal scoring opportunities. So I'll delve a bit more into his game now. So I think obviously you can tell that if you scored 17 goals in 17 games this season, you're not going to be bad at finishing, are you? And Tom has scored at least 2 hat-tricks this season in the games as well, so that's absolutely brilliant. He's a very acute finisher, both feet. He's absolutely brilliant. Off the ball, I think he's really impressive too. Being in a 4-1-2-1-2 formation in the academy, there is a huge emphasis for Norwich to press from the front and defend as a whole unit, because with that formation there's clear weaknesses and there's not going to be as much protection due to the fact that you've probably got one centre midfielder, so your whole team's got to defend like a unit. And I think Tom has got some great maturity and he's learned a lot from that and during the under-23s, and I think that will definitely translate into his game. He's a very good hard worker. There's absolutely no ego about him. He's the most humblest guy ever. I've texted him a couple of times, and yeah, he's such a nice guy, and I think he's at a great. I think he's at a great club in Gillingham. Sorry, I'm having some problems to get my words out here. Yeah, I think one thing you won't expect from Tom is he won't be kind of out strengthening people. I think I don't know if you class this as a lazy opinion. It's a league which is very kind of physical, and teams like to kind of battle the way through. Maybe a good example of that would be like a Wickham. We also had experience of playing them in the Championship, but yeah, I think the way Tom's going to succeed at Gillingham is if he uses his brain intelligently like he does in the academy, because if he translates all of his good attributes at Norwich under-23s to Gillingham, then I think you've got a really top player. I don't know your striking options, but I definitely think Tom would benefit from a player who, a striker, who's kind of a bit different to him, because if it's kind of too samey up there, then I kind of worry that he will drift in and out of games, which is not what you want. So maybe, I don't know if you've got a striker who's kind of physical, he's pacey, and he can complement with Tom. But I generally do feel with Tom is that if he gets chances, he will take them. And I think maybe that bit of Premier League kind of like quality in terms of for an academy, I think that could really kind of carry through to Gillingham. Norwich have got a great academy setup. Like, the facilities are absolutely amazing. Even Dan Hadstead has come onto our channel, our page on Instagram, and he said the Norwich facilities are top. And with that, you're bound to have some sort of ability, because it doesn't take any skivvy to come to Norwich and absolutely blow everything away. That's shown because Norwich, we've actually kind of bought players which are 250k, but for an academy that's quite a hefty amount, and there's a lot of emphasis on Norwich Academy to succeed due to our self-sustainable model. But yeah, I'll get back to Tom now, obviously. But yeah, I'm actually excited for him, and I can't wait to come down to Gillingham and watch him play. And I definitely will do that. There hasn't really been a game this season where I thought for Tom that he looks a bit off it, he don't look too good. He, honestly, every game he's really kind of shown that his qualities. There has been some occasions where he hasn't maybe put the ball away on a frequent basis as he wants, but apart from that, yeah, he's got one of his kind of trademark shots is He absolutely loves like an outside the box, kind of like curling to the bottom corner. That is one of his kind of go-to shots, really. And if he's got outside ability outside the box and he's really good inside the box, then, you know, it's going to be really beneficial for Gillingham. And I don't know how you are in terms of goal scoring, if you're happy with it, or if you're not very happy with it. But Tom has got ability to do either of them, to score from range and to score from close. But he's definitely a player who likes to operate in that 18-yard box and to kind of use his brain in situations in which he thinks the ball will kind of get played to. With that though, Tom has this is Tom's first loan move, and what you got to remember is it's going to be a complete new batch of players for him. Like he has played with Dan Asad once this season, but like this is a complete new bunch of players. And I feel like with Tom, and why he's so successful is that he's got like a lot of players in and around him who he knows. He spent like the majority of his career playing with like mates from under 13s to like under kind of 23s. So I think the thing which is going to maybe haunt him a little bit, which I'm not worried about because I know it's quality, but maybe a potential issue could be how long will it take him to gel with these other players and develop understandings on the pitch. So for example, I think I've seen that Gillingham play with 2 strikers. I could be wrong, but I think Tom's got to have a good understanding with his teammates in order for him to succeed. Because Tom, he creates so many kind of good kind of spaces for him to kind of get to shooting opportunities. It's just trying to get somebody who knows him and knows where he's gonna be. So I think it's really important that you kind of have a player who can kind of establish like a good relationship with Tom, and that could really succeed. In terms of his physicality and his physique in a way, I would never say in the under-23 league like he's looked out of his depth, but this is League One. It's probably the best League One it's ever been. So I can't sit here and say he's like physicality is not going to be a problem when I don't know, because this is his first loan move. In some ways, it could potentially be a risk to sign a player who's had his first loan move and he's not proven at this level. But you know, I think the thing with Tom is, you know, I think if he scores one, then I think he can score a lot. I honestly do think that. Like Tom this season has practically scored every game alongside his fellow striker and John Rowe. Norwich City's under-23s are the highest scoring team practically out of the whole of the under-23 teams in England. That is all I've got to say about Tom Dickson-Peters. Thank you so much for hearing me out. I really do appreciate it, and I really hope that Gillingham stay up in League One this season. And please, 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 please keep supporting this channel, as it's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it, and all the best to you all.
Cheers, mate, for that. Really, really appreciate that. And I'm sure all the other Gills faithful will. There's some really good information there about Tom. And biggest thing I can take out of it, considering he arrives from Norwich and we play Ipswich this coming Saturday, is that I'm looking forward to, fingers crossed, hopefully seeing that finish outside of the box, bending it into the far corner, last minute in front of the Rainer men to win 1-0. If Carlsberg did Saturday afternoons. Anyway, like I say, thanks again. Really appreciate the information being sent over. Go and check out @Will Granty. Go and check out @Norwich Youth on Instagram. You'll be able to keep track of what both Tom Dickson-Peters and also Daniel Adseed are up to. There is an interview with Daniel Adseed on their Instagram page as well. I'll be back Friday morning with a match preview video with an Ipswich fan ahead of our encounter at the weekend. And of course, we'll return with the first match day live in about a month and a half from around 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. But until then, I hope your first week back at work has not been too stressful. And up the Gills.